The second way I'd like to suggest that we view the claims about Jesus, the second example I'd like to give is that of the Syrophoenician woman in Matthew chapter 15 and also in Mark chapter 7. Go to the PDF and you'll see those passages, and please do read them. They're really important. We can't get into the full explanation of both passages, but I want to at least give you this connection once again to how that woman saw Jesus and her claims about him, and why that's so impressive and important, and why it matters in how we view what we believe as Christians to be different from everybody else. So a couple of ideas here. First of all, she's a Gentile woman. In other words, she has two strikes against her right away. First of all, she's Gentile. That means she's outside the family of God as far as the Jews were concerned. But the second problem is that she was a woman. And I want to emphasize this point for just a moment and to suggest that one of the wonderful things about Scripture is how it places women in such preeminence in Scripture. And of course, then in life. Read all the way through the Bible and see how the Bible elevates women to their proper place, that is, in equality with men. It's really an important idea, one that suggests to us that when Scripture is being written and it emphasizes the claim of a woman, everybody's ears should perk up, because that's a statement about what that person thinks about the authority of Jesus. So she also came from a place called Tyre and Sidon, which today in our framework, generally speaking, we think about this place as Lebanon. But during the time in which, or in centuries past, she came from a place where Jezebel came from. This was anathema as far as the Jews were concerned. Anybody that came out of Tyre and Sidon, they were of no good repute. She had a demon-possessed daughter. She's coming to Jesus, pleading with him, please excise this demon from my daughter. That's her plea. Then, of course, what does she do? She goes back to identify not herself as a Gentile, but Jesus as the Son of David. Why is that so important? Why is that so impressive that this Gentile woman would do that? It's impressive because she is taking us back to Matthew chapter 1 and verse 1. In that very opening line in Matthew's gospel, Matthew says, this whole gospel, this whole track of historic documentation is about this Son of David, this linkage to First Testament teaching. And what is this ancient claim? That Jesus is Messiah. He's the one that God sent. So, what makes our claim different as Christians from all other views of life and things? How do we talk about Jesus? And what are the claims about Jesus? And one of the ways in which I think we can come at this particular issue is identifying people who seem to be outside the faith. We started with the centurion. Here we're talking about a Gentile woman. Next, we're going to talk about Jesus. And oh, by the way, if you haven't read the PDF and you haven't read my story, please go do that. That story kind of encapsulates my whole point about why Jesus' claims are so important.